Welcome back! Today I'm going to show you how to paint this abstract painting. So as someone who had never painted before, I wonder how many of you resonate with my feelings towards painting. It can feel daunting, challenging, and I often find myself uncertain about where to even begin. Maybe you have felt this way about painting too. Have you ever thought of, am I doing this right? Is this what it's supposed to look like? Or I want to paint something like that, but where should I even begin? So today in this video, I just want to show you something that is super simple, very easy, maybe a little bit colorful. I mean, to me, it's quite colorful. It's got like a range of colors. Anyways, I love colors. So yeah, hopefully you can start your abstract painting journey as well. And I'll walk you through step by step of how I come up with this idea, how to create it, and all the techniques, tools, and skill that you need to know. So let's get started. So here you can see I'm painting the base layer. So layer number 1. The base layer, I'm just gonna, like, as you can see, I'm doing it very easy, very chill. I don't really care about the stroke mark at all. I just want to get the canvas to have some colors. So I want it to be quite warm, quite energetic, and then really vibrant. So it is a warm tone, so I've used yellow, red, and white, and then towards the end I'm using like a bit of purplish, like a dark purple type of color. I am using a kind of pouring acrylic ink, and then I add some water, so it is quite thin as you can see, but it is just base layer 1, so who cares, because I'm gonna build a lot more on top of that. So here, after I've got the base layer done, I wanted to play around with it. I've always wanted to do this kind of splashing type of work. I've never done it before, so it was fun and it was messy. And I was thinking, okay, one of the dots, I didn't really like it, so I see if I can get something out of it. And to be honest, I think I screwed up because I didn't like the bottom corner part at all. But you know what, it's abstract, move on, I'll be okay. So I just kept on blushing and getting more dots and lines that I like, and then I thought, you know what, it would be cool if I tilt it over and then see the movements of the ink and of the acrylic pink. So it looks quite cool, and I let it dry. And now I'm using the masking tape to create this very crisp and clean line of the black border, because the more I look at it, I'm like, I think a black border would looks cool and nice. So here I am trying to paint a black border. Once it's done, I take off the tapes and then did the other side as well, and then I let it dry. So this is the next day. I kind of taped the border that I just painted to make sure that keep it clean, otherwise it gets messy. So once the borders are protected, I actually wanted to add more textures and movement towards the corner because I felt it's quite plain, it was just brush stroke. So I found this used plastic and then wrap it up into a ball, and then so that like it can create some kind of textures and movements to this painting, which I think is quite interesting. At least it's not as boring, it's just the strokes, and then so it gives you some more dynamic towards the painting. Keep in mind, this is still the base layers. So I'm quite happy with what I've got around the borders now, so I'm going to add more value. So I'm going to just use my white acrylic pen and then just kind of doing some strokes and then doing some rectangles or some squares, and then it's pretty much just freestyle, whatever I feel like, and then I can just just like kind of do whatever I want, and then whatever I want it to be longer, shorter, or if I want to add more details towards this area. So now I'm quite happy with all the white acrylic paint that I've got, and I want to add extra layers to it, so I brought back the leftover red and purple acrylic ink paint, and then I'm just painting over it, and then whatever that I wanted to cover or add more values to it, I just do it. So it's quite fun. And I was thinking, it's too rigid in this area, so I want to add some curve to add some movements and some softness towards the corners. So I'm just adding random lines and movements that my hand carries me. So here you go, this is the base layer done. So now it comes to part 2. So while I was waiting for the base layer to dry, I kind of planned it out where I want the blocks going to be. As you can see, there's a little cheat sheet that I've got at the corner, and excuse the mess that I've got here. Anyway, so based on my draft, I kind of know where I'm gonna put them, but you know what? I didn't end up doing what I wanted to do. I kind of just wing it in the end, but it turned out quite nice. So here, at the beginning, I kind of just dotted the acrylic paint, and then I just tap it and then try to blend it and add that textures. But soon I learned this is so inefficient and it doesn't really give what I want. So I learned a trick. I kind of created or watched some YouTube, and then I saw people doing it. So I actually dropped all the acrylic paint first, and then I use a brush to actually brush it. So I have done the blending already through the brush, and then once that is done, I then use the cloth and then to give me that texture and that movement that I want. Now the initial blocks are dried, I'm just adding extra blocks to create that layering effect, so that you can see there is the distance, or like, I don't know what you call that, but anyways, so there's layers towards the blocks, and I think that makes the painting more dynamic, and I like that. And this is just a close-up of what it actually looks like. So when I'm tapping it, it kind of feels like I'm using a makeup sponge and then tapping my own face. And then for those who use makeup sponge, you would know what I'm talking about. You just tap your face and then to set the liquid foundation. So once the initial blocks are all dried up, I have covered them up on the edge and added some shading. So that shading would give them that 3D effects that I kind of try to create. Quite simple. You block it out and then just use black and then just give it like a shadow type of feeling. And I think it helps you to create that layering effect as well. Once it's all dried again, I kind of feel like something is missing. I feel like it's time for me to use the new technique that I've just learned, which is splashing the ink to the painting. It's so much fun. I loved it. It adds so much more like textures and movements, and I just love it. It's so fun to play with it. But here you go, this is the final look of my painting for my friend. Hopefully you like it and you'll be able to recreate something similar as well.